Every great accomplishment in history, every empire that rose from the dust, every fortune built from nothing began not with resources, not with luck, not even with opportunity, but with a single consuming desire. Desire is the seed from which all success grows. It is the invisible fire that ignites action, sustains persistence, and transforms ordinary individuals into extraordinary achievers. Without it, talent remains idle, potential stays dormant, and dreams wither before they ever bloom. Most people never rise beyond mediocrity because they confuse desire with wishful thinking. A wish is something you talk about casually, something you hope will happen if life is kind. A burning desire, however, is entirely different. It is a relentless force that refuses to be ignored. It is the thought that dominates your mind when you wake, and the one that lingers as you fall asleep. It becomes so intense that it feels like oxygen. You must have it, or you cannot breathe, and that level of desire changes everything. When you develop a burning desire for something, you stop asking if it's possible. You start finding ways to make it inevitable. Obstacles that once seemed insurmountable now appear as mere challenges to be solved. Failures cease to discourage you because the fire inside is stronger than any setback outside. People who lack intense desire are easily defeated by the first sign of difficulty. But those whose hearts are ablaze will crawl, fight, and climb through anything to reach their goal. Think about the stories of those who changed the world, the inventors, the visionaries, the pioneers. They were not the smartest people in the room, nor were they the most fortunate. What set them apart was their unwavering, burning desire to bring an idea to life. They faced ridicule, rejection, poverty, and failure, yet they refused to stop because their desire was greater than their fear, and in the end, the world had no choice but to yield to their determination. This principle applies to every area of life. Whether your goal is to build a business, transform your body, master a skill, or achieve financial freedom, the first and most important ingredient is desire. Without it, your plans will fade and your motivation will vanish and your actions will lose strength. But with it, even the smallest effort gains power because desire fuels discipline. It keeps you moving when logic says to quit. It whispers, "Try again," when the world says, "It's over." Yet desire on its own is not enough. It must evolve from a vague wish into a clear, burning obsession. This transformation begins with specificity. Do not simply say, "I want success." Define exactly what success means to you, the income you wish to earn, the impact you want to make, the life you want to live. Paint the picture in vivid detail. The clearer your vision, the stronger your desire becomes, and the stronger your desire, the more creative and relentless your actions will be. Another essential step is to fuel your desire daily. Just as a fire needs wood to keep burning, your desire needs reminders and reinforcement. Write down your goals and read them aloud every morning and night. Visualize yourself living the life you want. Feel the emotions of victory before it arrives. This repeated focus deepens your desire until it becomes part of your identity, until quitting is no longer an option. Remember, desire also attracts. It draws ideas, people, and opportunities into your orbit. When your desire radiates from you, others sense it and are compelled to join your mission. The world opens doors for those who know exactly what they want and pursue it with unwavering intensity. So, ask yourself today, what do you want so deeply that you are willing to devote years of your life to it? What dream keeps tugging at your heart, no matter how often you try to silence it? That is your true desire, the one worth building your life around. Once you discover it, protect it fiercely. Feed it daily. Speak it into existence. Let it consume your doubts and fuel your courage. A burning desire is more than motivation. It is transformation. It turns weakness into strength, fear into fuel, and dreams into destiny. It is the starting point of all achievement because it awakens the giant within you, the part of you that refuses to settle for less than you are capable of. Nurture that fire, and there is no force on earth that can stop you. Without it, even the best plans will crumble. With it, even the most impossible dreams will bow before you. So, if you wish to save yourself 10 years of wandering and failure, begin here. Cultivate a desire so powerful that it becomes the heartbeat of your existence. Once you have that, everything else, the plans, the knowledge, the persistence will follow because nothing great has ever been achieved without a burning desire to make it real. Effort alone is not the key to greatness. Millions of people spend their entire lives working hard, yet remain stuck in the same place year after year. They labor without rest, but they do not rise. They are busy, but they are not advancing. Why? Because effort without direction is like a ship without a compass. It moves, but it does not arrive. It is not the hours you work that matter most. It is the clarity of the purpose behind those hours. A single step taken with direction is worth more than 1,000 taken in confusion. A clear, definite purpose is the foundation of all true achievement. It is the guiding star that tells you where to focus your time, energy, and resources. Without it, you will chase too many things at once, scattering your strength and diluting your potential. But when your purpose is sharply defined, everything you do, every choice, every habit, every action becomes aligned with a single destination. That alignment multiplies your power. It transforms ordinary effort into unstoppable momentum. Most people drift through life without ever defining what they truly want. They follow the crowd, chase what others call success, and react to circumstances instead of shaping them. Because their purpose is vague, their results are uncertain. They try a little of this, a little of that, and abandon each pursuit when it becomes difficult. Their lives become a series of detours with no destination, but those who set a definite purpose move differently. They walk with confidence because they know where they are going. They work with persistence because they know what the struggle is for. And they refuse distractions because they know what matters and what does not. Clarity of purpose is powerful because it shapes your thinking. It filters your decisions. It turns chaos into order. When you know your destination, you stop wasting energy on roads that lead nowhere. You stop saying yes to everything and start saying yes only to what serves your mission. This focus turns time, the one resource we all share equally, into a force multiplier. 1 hour spent pursuing a definite purpose is worth more than 10 hours of aimless activity. To build such clarity, begin by asking yourself one fundamental question. What do I truly want my life to stand for? Strip away society's expectations, the noise of others' opinions, and the distractions of fleeting desires. Look deep within and find the purpose that stirs your soul. It may be to create, to build, to teach, to heal, to innovate, to lead. Whatever it is, define it with precision. Write it down as a single clear sentence. The more specific you are, the more powerful your purpose becomes. Once you define your purpose, commit to it completely. Let it become the lens through which you view every decision. Ask yourself before every major choice, does this move me closer to my purpose or does it pull me away? If it does not serve your mission, have the courage to say no, no matter how tempting it seems. This discipline is what separates the ordinary from the exceptional. Most people lack focus because they fear missing out. But the truth is, you cannot have everything and you do not need everything. You need only what aligns with your purpose. Your definite purpose also becomes your source of strength in difficult times. Challenges and setbacks are inevitable, but when your purpose is clear, they cannot stop you. You understand that obstacles are not roadblocks, but stepping stones. You see failures not as final defeats, but as lessons that refine your approach. Purpose gives meaning to pain and turns struggle into fuel. It is the difference between quitting in frustration and pressing forward with resilience. History's greatest achievements were born not from scattered effort, but from unwavering focus on a single aim. The inventor who brought light to the world, the leader who transformed nations, the entrepreneur who built empires each began with a clearly defined purpose and refused to let go of it. Their clarity created direction, their direction created action, and their action created results that changed the world. You do not need to have every step figured out before you begin. Purpose is not about knowing how, it is about knowing why. Once your why is strong enough, the how will reveal itself. Life will present opportunities, ideas, and allies that align with your mission. Your mind will begin to notice solutions that were invisible before. That is the power of clarity. It unlocks creativity, attracts resources, and mobilizes unseen forces to help you succeed. So if you want to save yourself years of wasted effort, stop running in circles. Stop scattering your strength across a dozen shallow pursuits. Instead, pause and define the one purpose that truly matters to you. Make it so clear that you can state it in a single breath. Make it so compelling that it pulls you forward, even when the path is steep. Then pour every ounce of your energy into it. Remember, hard work is valuable, but only when it is aimed at a definite target. Without purpose, effort is noise. With purpose, effort becomes power, and that power, directed, focused, and unrelenting, can compress decades of wandering into a few short years of triumph. Your future does not depend on how hard you work. It depends on how clearly you know what you are working for. Every dream that has ever been realized, every goal that has ever been achieved, and every transformation that has ever taken place began as something unseen, an idea, a vision, a spark that existed only in the mind before it became visible to the world. It lived in the realm of belief, and the force that brings these unseen possibilities into tangible form is faith. Faith is not a fragile hope or a vague wish. It is a state of absolute certainty, the unshakable conviction that what you seek is already on its way, even when your eyes see no evidence of it yet. Faith is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Without it, even the best plans crumble under the weight of doubt. With it, even the most impossible dreams begin to move toward you. Most people fail not because they lack ability or opportunity, but because they allow doubt to poison their thoughts before their dreams have a chance to grow. Doubt whispers, "You can't." Faith roars back, "You already have, now go and claim it." To understand the true power of faith, you must first grasp this. Everything you desire already exists in potential. The wealth you seek, the success you crave, the future you envision, it is all real, waiting to be brought forth. But it will not come into your life until you believe you are worthy of it and capable of achieving it. Your belief acts as the key that unlocks the door between potential and reality. Faith transforms the way you think and act. When you truly believe something is possible, your mind begins to search for ways to make it happen. Ideas appear that you never noticed before. You start seeing opportunities where once you saw obstacles. Your actions become bolder because you are no longer paralyzed by fear of failure. This shift is not magic. It is the natural result of belief. What you believe about yourself sets the boundaries of what you will attempt, and what you attempt determines what you achieve. But faith is not passive. It is not sitting back and waiting for things to fall into your lap. Real faith demands action. It is the fuel that drives you forward when results are still invisible. It gives you the strength to keep building when there's nothing yet to show for your work. It is the voice inside that says, "Keep going, it's already yours," even when the world laughs and calls you foolish. Without action, faith is a wish. But when faith and action combine, they become an unstoppable force. Consider the stories of those who accomplished the impossible. They faced rejection, ridicule, and repeated failure, yet they pressed on because their faith was greater than their circumstances. They saw success in their minds long before the world saw it in reality, and because they believed, they acted as though it were already theirs, and eventually it was. This is the timeless law of achievement. Believe first, act with conviction, and reality will conform to your belief. Building such faith requires discipline. You must guard your mind fiercely against the poison of doubt and negativity. Do not entertain thoughts of defeat, even for a moment. Surround yourself with people and ideas that strengthen your belief instead of weakening it. Speak words of certainty. Visualize your goal as if it were already accomplished. The more vividly and consistently you hold that image in your mind, the deeper your faith becomes, and the more powerfully it will shape your reality. There will be moments when everything seems to go against you. Doors will close, plans will fail, progress will stall. In those moments, weak faith evaporates, but true faith grows stronger. It is in adversity that faith proves its worth. Anyone can believe when the road is smooth. Only the truly committed keep believing when the path disappears beneath their feet. And it is that unbreakable belief, tested in fire, that eventually bends reality in your favor. Remember this truth: your life today is a reflection of the beliefs you held yesterday, and your life tomorrow will reflect the beliefs you hold today. If you believe you are destined for struggle, struggle will find you. But if you believe you are destined for greatness and act on that belief with unwavering faith, greatness will come. The universe does not respond to doubt, it responds to certainty. So begin today to cultivate a faith so strong that no obstacle can shake it. Speak the words of victory until they become your truth. Act as though your success is inevitable until it becomes undeniable. Let your faith be the foundation upon which you build your future, for faith does not just help you endure the impossible, it makes the impossible inevitable. Faith is the birthplace of achievement. It turns the invisible into reality, the intangible into tangible, the dream into destiny. It is the force that transforms what could be into what will be. Master it, and you will no longer wonder if your dreams are possible. You will know that they are, and you will live to see them unfold. The world does not reward the person who knows a little about everything. It rewards the person who knows a great deal about something valuable. General knowledge, broad, scattered, and shallow, may make you interesting, but it will not make you indispensable. It is specialized knowledge, deep, precise, and focused, that turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. Specialized knowledge is the tool that cuts through obstacles, solves real problems, and commands great value in the world. If you wish to save yourself years of wasted struggle, stop trying to master everything and dedicate yourself to mastering one thing deeply. Look around at the people who rise to the top in any field. They are rarely the ones who know the most about everything. Instead, they are the ones who understand one subject, one skill, one craft better than anyone else. And because of that, they become the go-to person, the authority, the leader. A doctor who understands a specific surgery better than anyone else is more valuable than one who knows a little about many specialties. A business person who solves one pressing problem with unmatched expertise builds wealth faster than one who tries to dabble in everything. Depth always outweighs breadth. Most people spend their lives collecting general knowledge. They skim books, watch videos, attend lectures, and hold conversations on countless topics, yet never go deep enough into anyone to make a significant impact. This scattered approach keeps them trapped in mediocrity. They are somewhat good at many things, but exceptional at none. And in a world that rewards value, somewhat good is easily replaced. But when you master a specific skill or subject, you become rare, and rarity commands reward. Specialized knowledge also builds confidence. Uncertainty thrives in vagueness, but confidence grows from expertise. When you know a subject deeply, you stop second-guessing yourself. You make decisions faster. You speak with authority. You take bolder action. This confidence attracts opportunities because people trust those who clearly know what they are talking about, and opportunities once seized multiply success. But specialized knowledge is not static. It is not about memorizing facts. It is about solving problems. The world does not pay for what you know. It pays for what you can do with what you know. True specialists are problem solvers. They see what others cannot, understand complexities others avoid, and deliver solutions others only dream of. This is why their time, skill, and insight become so valuable, because they turn their deep knowledge into real-world results. Building specialized knowledge requires discipline and focus. It begins with identifying the area that aligns with your purpose and ignites your desire. Ask yourself what skill or subject, if mastered, could transform my life. What knowledge could solve meaningful problems for others? Once you have your answer, commit yourself to it fully. Read deeply, study relentlessly, practice daily, and seek mentorship from those already ahead of you. Replace shallow entertainment with concentrated learning. Every hour invested in depth will return tenfold in opportunity. Do not fear starting small. All masters were once beginners. What matters is not where you start, but how deeply you commit. Even 1 hour of focused study every day compounds into mastery over time. And mastery is not about knowing everything. It is about knowing more than most and applying that knowledge better than anyone else. As your expertise deepens, your value grows, and with it, your influence, impact, and income. Another secret to success is combining specialized knowledge with creativity. Many breakthroughs happen not from knowing more facts, but from connecting known facts in new ways. Once you master the fundamentals of a field, look for ways to innovate, simplify, or expand upon them. This is how specialists become pioneers. They don't just understand the present, they shape the future. The beauty of specialized knowledge is that it compounds. The deeper you go, the faster you learn, and the more opportunities reveal themselves. You attract mentors who recognize your dedication. You discover gaps in the market others overlook. You begin to solve bigger problems, which lead to bigger rewards. Over time, your specialized skill can lift you far beyond those who work harder but remain generalists. Think of it like a magnifying glass. General knowledge spreads the light of your effort over a wide area, warm but weak. Specialized knowledge concentrates that same light into a single point, and suddenly it ignites. The difference between struggling for years and succeeding swiftly often comes down to focus. Focused knowledge creates power. Scattered knowledge creates frustration. So if you want to accelerate your journey and save yourself a decade of trial and error, make this decision today. Stop trying to learn everything. Instead, choose one field, one skill, one problem, and master it. Go deeper than most are willing to go. Learn the details others overlook. Understand the patterns others ignore. Solve the problems others cannot, and soon the world will come looking for you. Because specialists are not found, they are created. Remember, effort alone is not enough. Working hard without direction is like climbing a ladder that's leaning against the wrong wall. But when you apply that same effort to mastering specialized knowledge, every step you take moves you closer to the top. The world pays for depth, not dabbling. And once you possess knowledge that few others have and know how to use it, you hold the power to shape your destiny and turn dreams into reality. Every great achievement humanity has ever known, every invention, every discovery, every empire, every work of art began not in the physical world, but in the quiet space of the mind. Imagination is the birthplace of reality. It is the workshop where dreams are shaped, ideas are forged, and destinies are designed long before they ever appear before our eyes. It is not a toy reserved for artists and poets. It is the most powerful creative tool every human being possesses, and those who learn to use it with purpose hold the power to shape the world around them. Imagination is more than fantasy. It is not idle daydreaming or wishful thinking. It is the ability to see beyond what is to envision what could be. It allows you to hold a picture of the future so vividly in your mind that it begins to pull you toward it. The house you live in, the phone in your hand, the car on the road, all of them existed first as a thought in someone's imagination. Before they were objects, they were visions. Before they were built, they were believed. The reason imagination is so powerful is that the human mind cannot distinguish deeply held imagination from reality. When you consistently visualize a future state, not as a distant possibility, but as a present certainty, your subconscious mind begins to accept it as truth. And once your subconscious believes, it goes to work aligning your thoughts, habits, and actions with that vision. This is how imagination transforms into reality, first in thought, then in behavior, and finally in results. Most people underestimate the power of imagination because they use it unconsciously. They spend their days imagining problems, disasters, and failures, and then wonder why those very things show up in their lives. But those who master their imagination use it deliberately and constructively. They choose to picture success, growth, abundance, and strength. And in time, those images take root in their reality. What you hold consistently in your mind, you will eventually hold in your hands. To harness this power, begin by daring to dream boldly. Do not limit your imagination to what seems realistic. Reality is shaped by imagination, not the other way around. The greatest breakthroughs in history, flight, electricity, space travel, global communication, were all called impossible until someone imagined them as possible. Refuse to confine your vision to what currently exists. See the world not as it is, but as it could be, and then decide that you will be the one to make it so. Once you have envisioned your future, engage your imagination daily. Spend time each morning and evening picturing yourself living the life you desire. See it clearly in your mind's eye. Feel the emotions of already having it. Immerse yourself in that mental movie until it becomes as familiar as your current reality. This is not empty fantasy. It is mental rehearsal. Just as an athlete visualizes victory before stepping onto the field, you must visualize your success before stepping into your day. But imagination alone is not enough. It must lead to action. The purpose of imagination is not to replace effort, but to direct it. A vivid vision will ignite your desire, strengthen your belief, and guide your decisions. It will keep you focused when distractions tempt you, and resilient when obstacles arise. Imagination shows you the destination. Your actions build the road toward it. When vision and effort work together, nothing can stop you. Imagination also unlocks creativity, the ability to find new solutions and better ways forward. When faced with challenges, most people see only walls. The imaginative mind sees doors where none exist. It asks, what if? And how else? And why not? These questions lead to breakthroughs that logic alone could never produce. Some of the greatest solutions in history were born not from more knowledge, but from more imagination applied to that knowledge. Surrounding yourself with inspiration can strengthen your imaginative power. Read books that expand your thinking. Visit places that spark new ideas. Talk to people who dream boldly. Feed your mind with inputs that stretch it beyond its current boundaries. The more raw material you give your imagination, the more creative and powerful it becomes. Above all, trust your imagination. If a vision keeps returning to you, if an idea refuses to leave your thoughts, it is not random. It is a signal. It is life calling you toward a destiny that is already yours if you will only claim it. Do not dismiss those visions as foolish. Every great achievement once looked foolish to someone, but the ones who dared to believe their imagination were the ones who changed the world. Remember, this reality is not fixed. It bends to the strength of your vision. The limits of your life are not defined by your current circumstances, but by the size of your imagination. Dare to see more and you will become more. Dare to believe in what does not yet exist, and one day it will. Imagination is not escapism, it is creation. It is the workshop where the invisible is shaped into the visible, where dreams become plans and where plans become destiny. So use this power wisely. Dream deliberately, imagine courageously, and hold those visions in your mind until they harden into fact. Because everything you will ever achieve, every victory you will ever claim, begins with one bold act, imagining it first. A dream, no matter how vivid or inspiring, remains nothing more than a fantasy until it is translated into a plan. Imagination is the workshop where visions are born, but organized planning is the bridge that carries those visions from the invisible realm of thought into the tangible world of results. The distance between where you are now and where you want to be is not measured in miles or years. It is measured in the quality and precision of your plan. Without a plan, even the most powerful desire and the boldest imagination will scatter into wasted potential. With one, even the most distant goal becomes a matter of time and action. Most people fail not because they lack ambition, talent, or opportunity, but because they never take the time to turn their ideas into a structured course of action. They confuse motion with progress, working hard but without a map. They chase opportunity after opportunity without ever asking, how does this fit into my larger mission? And so, they drift. But those who rise from ordinary to extraordinary live by a different rule. They design their success before they pursue it. They don't hope to arrive, they plan their arrival. Organized planning begins with clarity. You must know exactly what you want before you can design a plan to achieve it. A vague goal leads to a vague plan, and a vague plan leads nowhere. Define your objective in precise terms, not "I want to be successful," but "I want to build a business that earns 500,000 in 3 years." Not "I want to be healthy," but "I want to run a marathon by next October." Specificity transforms dreams into targets, and targets can be hit. Once you have clarity, break your goal into steps. Large dreams can feel overwhelming when viewed as a whole, but when divided into smaller, manageable tasks, they become achievable. Ask yourself, what actions must I take to reach this goal? What resources will I need? What skills must I learn? Who must I connect with? Then arrange these steps in logical order and assign each a timeline. A plan is not just a list, it is a sequence of deliberate actions, each building on the one before it. Effective plans are also flexible. Life rarely unfolds exactly as expected. Obstacles will appear, circumstances will change. Your plan must be strong enough to guide you, but flexible enough to adapt. Think of it as a living document, one you refine and improve as you learn more. The best planners review their progress regularly, adjust their strategies as needed, and keep moving forward no matter what. They understand that a plan is a compass, not a cage. Another critical component of organized planning is leveraging knowledge in people. You do not need to know everything yourself. In fact, trying to do so is one of the fastest paths to failure. Instead, seek out mentors, advisors, and experts who have walked the path before you. Learn from their successes and mistakes. Build a team if your goal requires it. Many of history's greatest achievements were not the result of a lone genius, but of a well-organized group united by a common plan. A strong plan often includes the right allies. Moreover, your plan must include measurable milestones. These are checkpoints that allow you to track your progress and stay accountable. They give you small victories along the way, keeping motivation alive and momentum strong. Without milestones, you risk losing sight of how far you've come and how close you are to the finish line. Equally important is committing your plan to writing. A plan that lives only in your head is fragile and easily forgotten, but a written plan becomes a contract, a promise you make to yourself. It serves as a constant reminder of your purpose, your priorities, and your path. When doubt creeps in or distractions tempt you away, your written plan brings you back to focus. Remember, too, that no plan is useful without action. Planning is preparation, but execution is transformation. Do not fall into the trap of endless planning without movement. Perfection is not required before you begin. Progress is. Launch your plan even if it is imperfect, and refine it as you go. The act of moving forward will teach you more than endless thinking ever could. Organized planning also breeds discipline. It keeps you on course when enthusiasm fades and distractions arise. It eliminates wasted effort by showing you what matters most. It replaces chaos with order, confusion with clarity, and overwhelm with direction. With a plan, each day has purpose. Each action builds upon the last. Each setback becomes a stepping stone instead of a dead end. The truth is, success is not an accident. It is engineered. And the blueprint of that engineering is your plan. Without it, even the greatest dream will drift like a ship without a rudder. With it, even the boldest goal becomes inevitable. Your plan is the map that transforms someday into soon, maybe into certain, and wish into will. So, take the time to build your bridge. Define your goal clearly. Break it into steps. Write it down. Seek knowledge and allies. Set milestones. Stay flexible. Act relentlessly. And as you execute that plan day by day, watch as your dreams, once distant and invisible, take form before your eyes. Because organized planning is more than preparation. It is the quiet, deliberate force that transforms vision into victory, turning what once existed only in your mind into the life you were meant to live. Every great achievement in history can be traced back to a single powerful moment, the moment of decision. Before the battles were won, before the empires were built, before the inventions changed the world, someone made a decision and refused to turn back. Decision is more than choice. It is the act of cutting off every alternative except the one that leads to your goal. It is the spark that ignites action, the force that transforms dreams into reality. Without decision, desire remains a wish, potential remains untapped, and opportunity passes by unnoticed. The difference between those who succeed and those who stagnate is rarely intelligence or talent. More often, it is the willingness to decide and act with boldness and certainty. The masses hesitate, overthink, and wait for perfect conditions that never come. The few who rise make a firm decision and commit to it, knowing that clarity comes through action, not endless contemplation. They understand that indecision is the thief of time and the graveyard of potential. Decision is not merely saying, "I want this." It is saying, "I will have this no matter what it takes." It is a mental contract you sign with yourself, one that binds you to a course of action and closes the door on retreat. Until you reach that level of commitment, you will remain stuck in hesitation, doubting your abilities, questioning your path, and allowing fear to dictate your future. But once a decision is made with unwavering conviction, the universe itself seems to rearrange in your favor. People, opportunities, and resources begin to align with your chosen direction because your mind is no longer scattered. It is focused like a laser on a single outcome. Consider this truth. Indecision breeds weakness. Every time you hesitate, you strengthen the habit of doubt. Every time you delay, you train your mind to fear consequences instead of creating them. In contrast, every firm decision builds confidence and inner power. It tells your subconscious, "I am the master here." Over time, decision-making becomes second nature, and you move through life with a boldness that success demands. Many people believe they fail because they lack opportunities, but more often they fail because they never truly decided. They try rather than commit. They say, "I'll give it a shot," instead of, "I will make it happen." This half-hearted approach ensures half-hearted results. The moment you shift from trying to deciding, everything changes. Your actions become deliberate. Your energy intensifies, your persistence multiplies, and doors that were once invisible begin to open. True decision is not dependent on circumstances. It does not wait for the perfect time, the perfect plan, or the perfect resources. It is forged in the present moment, often in the face of uncertainty. Those who wait for all conditions to align before deciding will wait forever. The successful understand that conditions improve after the decision is made, because the act of deciding sets forces into motion. They leap, and then they build their wings on the way down. However, decision also requires courage. Fear will always try to pull you back. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. These fears are illusions designed to test your resolve. The only way to overcome them is through decisive action. The moment you act, fear begins to dissolve and what once seemed terrifying becomes manageable. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move forward despite it. Another hallmark of powerful decision makers is speed. They do not waste months analyzing every possibility. They gather the best information they can, trust their judgment, and act swiftly. Prolonged hesitation is often worse than a wrong decision because it drains your energy and stalls your momentum, and if a decision turns out to be wrong, you can always adjust. Success is not about never making mistakes. It is about deciding, learning, adapting, and deciding again. History is filled with stories of ordinary people who became extraordinary simply because they decided they would. They were not the most skilled, the most connected, or the most fortunate, but they were the most committed. They burned their ships, destroyed their escape routes, and left themselves no option but victory. And because of that decision, they found strength and resourcefulness they never knew they possessed. Understand, this life will not wait for you to decide. Opportunities expire, seasons change, and while you hesitate, someone else is acting. If you want to rise, you must become decisive in your goals, your actions, and your identity. Decide who you want to be. Decide what you will no longer tolerate. Decide what you will pursue with everything you have, and then move forward with unshakable resolve. Decision is the gateway to destiny. It transforms possibility into inevitability. It separates the dreamers from the doers, the hesitant from the unstoppable. The power to change your life does not lie in some distant future. It lies in the decision you make today. Stand firm, cut off every retreat, and commit to the life you desire with all your heart. Because once you decide, truly and deeply decide, the world has no choice but to make way for you. Every dream worth chasing will test you. It will challenge your strength, stretch your patience, and push you to the edge of quitting. And it is in those moments when the road seems too long, the obstacles too high, and the results too far away that the power of persistence becomes your greatest ally. Talent may open the first door, luck may give you a small push, but only persistence will carry you across the finish line. Persistence is the difference between those who almost made it and those who did. It is the quiet, unglamorous force that transforms failure into fuel and defeat into victory. Most people underestimate the power of persistence. They see success and believe it was achieved quickly or easily. They envy the outcome but ignore the endless effort behind it, the nights of doubt, the failures endured, the obstacles overcome. The truth is, every story of greatness is a story of persistence. The greatest inventors, leaders, artists, and builders were not the ones who never failed. They were the ones who refused to stop trying, no matter how many times they fell. Persistence is not stubbornness. It is not blindly repeating the same mistake. True persistence means adapting and improving with each setback. It is fueled by a vision so strong that no obstacle can extinguish it. When one plan fails, persistence looks for another. When one door closes, persistence knocks on 10 more. It sees every defeat not as a reason to quit, but as a lesson, a guide pointing the way to a better strategy. Failure is not the enemy. Quitting is. Failure is a teacher, a sculptor shaping your strength and sharpening your skill. Every time you fall and rise again, you become tougher, wiser, more capable. Those who fear failure run from it, and as a result, they never grow. But those who embrace failure, who see it as a necessary part of the journey, learn how to transform it into power. Persistence turns wounds into wisdom and losses into leverage. There is a law in life. Resistance increases as you approach something significant. The closer you get to your breakthrough, the harder the obstacles become. That is why most people quit not at the beginning, but just before the moment of victory. They walk away inches from success because they mistake temporary difficulty for permanent defeat. Persistence refuses to make that mistake. It keeps going when others stop. It pushes one step further, knowing that often the darkest hour is just before dawn. To cultivate persistence, you must build a deep emotional connection to your goal. Surface-level desires will not survive the storms. You must know why you want what you want so clearly and powerfully that giving up feels impossible. That why will become your anchor when everything else tries to shake you loose. When failure comes, and it will, your reason will keep you moving forward. Another key to persistence is consistency. Greatness is rarely achieved through one grand action, but through small, repeated actions over time. Daily effort compounds into unstoppable momentum. It may feel like nothing is happening in the beginning, but beneath the surface, progress is building. Just as water wears down rock through continuous flow, your consistent persistence will wear down resistance until success is inevitable. Surround yourself with reminders of your mission. Read stories of those who persisted against impossible odds. Speak words of resilience over yourself. Eliminate the voices that tell you to quit, whether they come from others or from within. And when doubt whispers, "It's too hard," answer with, "I'm harder." When failure sneers, "You've lost," respond, "I'm not finished." Persistence also means trusting the process, even when results are invisible. It's easy to stay motivated when progress is obvious, but real strength is shown when you keep going in silence. The seed planted underground sees no sunlight, yet it pushes upward because its nature is growth. Be like that seed. Push forward even when nothing seems to be happening. The breakthrough you seek may already be forming beneath the surface, waiting for your continued effort to bring it into the light. And remember, persistence is a choice. It is not something you are born with. It is something you decide on every single day. You decide to try again when you fail. You decide to rise when you fall. You decide to move forward when your mind screams to stop. Each decision builds the muscle of persistence until it becomes part of who you are. The road to any worthy goal is not straight. It twists, it turns, and it tests. But if you keep walking, if you keep adapting, if you refuse to give up, the destination becomes inevitable. Every step you take while others quit brings you closer to the life you desire. Every setback you overcome builds the strength you will need to sustain your success when it comes. So make this your vow. You will not stop until you arrive. Let failure fuel you. Let rejection refine you. Let obstacles strengthen you, because persistence is the master key that unlocks every door, the force that turns someday into today. With persistence, there is no dream too distant, no mountain too high, no setback too final. Persist long enough and even the impossible will kneel before you. No one climbs to the peak of success alone. Every towering achievement, every monumental breakthrough, every enduring legacy was built not by a single individual working in isolation, but by a powerful alliance of minds united toward a shared purpose. This is the power of the mastermind, a principle that multiplies your potential beyond what you could ever achieve alone. When two or more people come together in harmony, sharing knowledge, ideas, energy, and vision, a new force is created, a collective intelligence greater than the sum of its parts. This invisible force has the power to move mountains, open doors, and accelerate success at a pace no individual effort can match. Most people try to do everything alone. They carry the weight of their dreams entirely on their own shoulders, believing that independence is strength. But true strength is not isolation, it is collaboration. One person's knowledge is limited, but when combined with the knowledge of others, it expands exponentially. One person's perspective is narrow, but when merged with many perspectives, it becomes wisdom. Alone, you can travel faster. Together, you can travel farther, and to heights you never could have reached on your own. The mastermind is not merely a group of people. It is a deliberate alliance built on trust, respect, and a shared commitment to growth. It is not about quantity. 5 aligned minds are more powerful than 50 scattered ones. The key is harmony. When minds work together in unity, they begin to function like a single powerful engine, driving each member toward success with far greater force than any could generate alone. The power of the mastermind operates on both practical and unseen levels. Practically, it gives you access to ideas, resources, strategies, and experiences that you would never have on your own. Others can see what you cannot see. They can point out flaws in your plan, offer solutions you would never consider, and open doors you didn't know existed. They challenge you when you grow complacent and encourage you when you feel defeated. They hold you accountable to the best version of yourself. On a deeper level, the mastermind generates a kind of creative energy, a third mind that emerges when individual minds work together in harmony. This collective intelligence can produce insights, innovations, and opportunities that none of the members could have produced individually. History is filled with examples of this phenomenon: revolutionary inventions, movements, and businesses born not from one brilliant mind, but from many minds thinking together toward a common aim. Building a powerful mastermind requires intentionality. You must choose your associates wisely. Seek out those who share your values, your ambition, and your commitment to growth. Avoid the negative, the cynical, the small-minded. They will drain your energy and sabotage your vision. Instead, surround yourself with people who challenge you to think bigger, who push you beyond your comfort zone, and who are equally determined to rise. The energy of those around you will shape your destiny, so choose that energy carefully. Once you have formed your mastermind, nurture it with consistency and purpose. Meet regularly, share openly, listen deeply. Celebrate each other's victories and learn from each other's failures. Offer your strength where others are weak, and accept their strength where you are weak. Remember, the mastermind is not about competition. It is about collaboration. It is not about ego, it is about elevation. The mastermind also demands humility. To benefit from the collective intelligence of others, you must be willing to listen, to learn, and to accept that you do not have all the answers. Pride isolates you. Humility connects you. When you approach the mastermind with an open mind and a willing heart, you unlock its full transformative power. There is another hidden gift of the mastermind belief. When your faith falters, the belief of others can carry you. When doubt clouds your vision, their certainty can clear your path. Alone, it is easy to question your potential. Surrounded by others who see your greatness even when you cannot, it becomes almost impossible to forget it. The mastermind becomes a mirror that reflects your highest self back to you until you believe it too. Understand this truth. The most successful people in the world are not lone wolves. They are builders of alliances, architects of networks, creators of powerful circles that multiply their reach and amplify their strength. They know that while talent may build a strong foundation, it is teamwork that builds empires. They harness the power of many minds aligned in one direction, and that power makes them unstoppable. So do not walk the path alone. Seek out those whose vision complements yours, whose strength strengthens yours, and whose fire fuels yours. Form your mastermind, even if it begins with just one other person, and nurture it with intention. As you do, you will discover that what once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. The obstacles that once stopped you crumble before united force. The dreams that once felt distant accelerate toward you with unstoppable momentum. The mastermind principle is more than a strategy, it is a law of success. It is the force that multiplies your intelligence, amplifies your courage, expands your possibilities, and accelerates your journey. Alone, you are powerful. Together, you are limitless. And when you harness the power of the mastermind, no goal is too ambitious, no dream too distant, and no vision beyond reach. Beneath the surface of your conscious thoughts, beyond your daily decisions and deliberate actions, lies a hidden power, a silent, tireless force that shapes your destiny, your subconscious mind. It never sleeps, never stops working, and never questions the instructions you give it. It is the invisible architect of your reality, translating your dominant thoughts and beliefs into the circumstances and outcomes you experience. Harnessed properly, it becomes your greatest ally in achieving success. Left unchecked, it can become your greatest obstacle. Understanding and directing this silent partner is one of the most powerful keys to transforming your life. Your subconscious mind is like fertile soil. Whatever seeds you plant, thoughts, beliefs, emotions, it will nurture and bring forth into reality. Plant seeds of doubt and fear, and they will grow into obstacles and self-sabotage. Plant seeds of confidence, abundance, and purpose, and they will blossom into opportunities, solutions, and achievements. The soil does not choose which seeds to grow. It simply follows the instructions it is given. The responsibility to choose those seeds lies with you. The challenge is that most people allow their subconscious mind to be programmed by accident. They let negative thoughts, limiting beliefs, and fears run unchecked. They repeat phrases like, "I'm not good enough," or "I'll never succeed," and their subconscious mind accepts these statements as commands. It then begins shaping behavior, decisions, and even external events to match those beliefs. Without realizing it, they become prisoners of their own programming. But the same principle that works against you can work for you if you learn to use it consciously. The subconscious mind accepts whatever it is told with emotion and repetition. This is why affirmations, visualization, and focused belief are so powerful. They are the tools by which you imprint new instructions onto the deepest part of your mind. Speak to your subconscious in the language it understands: vivid images, strong emotions, and unwavering conviction. Visualization is one of the most effective ways to do this. When you vividly imagine your desired outcome as if it were already real, when you see yourself living the life you want, feel the emotions of success and believe it with your whole being. Your subconscious begins to accept that image as reality. It then goes to work aligning your behavior, attracting opportunities, and sharpening your perception in ways that move you toward that image. What you consistently hold in your mind, you eventually hold in your hand. Another powerful method is the use of affirmations, positive, present, tense statements repeated with feeling. When you say, I am confident, I am unstoppable, I attract opportunities, you are not just speaking words. You are issuing commands to your subconscious. Over time, those commands overwrite old, limiting beliefs and replace them with empowering ones. And as your inner programming changes, so does your outer world. The subconscious mind is also the source of intuition. Those sudden flashes of insight, creative ideas, and inner nudges that seem to come from nowhere, these are not accidents. They are the result of your subconscious processing vast amounts of information and presenting solutions that your conscious mind cannot see. The more you feed your subconscious with clear goals and positive instructions, the more frequently it will deliver these insights. Trust and act on them. They are often the stepping stones to your next breakthrough. But remember this, your subconscious cannot distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. It accepts both as truth. This is both a warning and an opportunity. If you constantly dwell on failure, rehearse fears, or imagine worst-case scenarios, your subconscious will treat those as instructions and lead you toward them. But if you consistently picture success, speak words of power, and dwell on possibility, it will move mountains to bring that vision to life. Your thoughts, repeated and felt deeply, become your beliefs. Your beliefs shape your actions. Your actions shape your reality. This is the chain of creation, and it all begins in the subconscious. That is why guarding your mind is not optional, it is essential. Be vigilant about what you read, what you watch, who you spend time with, and most importantly, what you say to yourself. Every input is a seed, and every seed grows. Your subconscious is always listening, always responding, always working, whether you direct it or not. The question is, will you let it run on old, limiting programs written by fear, failure, and doubt? Or will you consciously program it to create the future you desire? The choice is yours. When you align your conscious goals with the power of your subconscious mind, you unlock a level of success that feels effortless. Obstacles dissolve, opportunities appear, ideas flow. You begin to experience a kind of synchronicity, as if the universe itself is conspiring to help you. But it is not magic. It is the natural result of a mind working in harmony with itself. Conscious and subconscious pulling in the same direction, so make your subconscious your greatest ally. Feed it only the thoughts that serve your highest purpose. Visualize your dreams as already accomplished. Speak words of power into your life and trust the quiet guidance it offers. With your subconscious mind as your silent partner, there is no dream too great, no goal too distant, and no obstacle too strong. It will work tirelessly day and night until the life you once imagined becomes the life you are living. Now, you stand at the edge of a choice, the same choice that every person who ever transformed their life has faced. You have walked through the timeless principles that build empires, shape destinies, and turn ordinary men and women into unstoppable forces. You have seen how burning desire ignites the journey, how faith transforms the invisible into reality, how specialized knowledge sharpens your edge, how organized planning turns dreams into results, how decisive action separates the successful from the stagnant, how persistence turns failure into fuel, how the mastermind multiplies your power, and how the subconscious mind becomes your silent ally. These are not theories, they are laws. Universal truths that have built fortunes, freed nations, and transformed lives across every generation, and they are now in your hands. But knowledge alone is not enough. Information without application is wasted potential. The difference between those who only dream and those who truly achieve lies not in what they know, but in what they do with what they know. The principles you've learned here are like powerful tools, but a tool left unused cannot build anything. It is only when you pick it up and put it to work that its strength is revealed. Ask yourself now, will I be one of those who reads, nods, and returns to life unchanged? Or will I be one of those rare few who takes these truths and uses them to rewrite their story? The answer will define not just your next chapter, it will define your destiny. The clock of your life is ticking. Every day you delay, every opportunity you hesitate on, every decision you postpone, time slips away, and with it, potential. But here's the great secret. Time lost cannot be recovered, yet the time ahead can be redeemed. 1 hour of clarity, 1 hour of decision, 1 hour of aligned action can save you 10 years of wandering in circles. This hour, this very moment, can be that hour for you. It can be the hour you stop drifting and start directing. The hour you stop reacting and start creating. The hour you stop living by chance and start living by choice. Your future is not written. It is built one thought, one decision, one action at a time, and everything you desire is already within your reach. The wealth, the health, the relationships, the purpose, the freedom, they are not locked away in some distant future. They are waiting inside you dormant, ready to be awakened by your commitment and persistence. The principles you've learned here are the keys that unlock them. It will not be easy. There will be days when doubt will whisper that you are not enough. There will be moments when the mountain ahead will seem too steep. There will be setbacks that will tempt you to quit. But remember this, every person who has ever achieved anything great felt the same fear, faced the same resistance, and walked through the same storms. The difference is that they refused to stop. They clung to their vision when nothing seemed to be working. They decided, persisted, learned, adapted, and trusted the process. And in time, the impossible became inevitable. Now it is your turn. Your destiny is waiting. The person you are meant to become is calling you forward. The life you dream of is not beyond your reach. It is simply beyond your current habits, thoughts, and actions, and the moment you change those, everything changes. So begin now. Do not wait for the perfect time. It does not exist. Do not wait for permission. You already have it. Do not wait for certainty. It comes after action, not before. Take the first step, no matter how small. Decide what you want. Write your plan. Gather your allies. Feed your subconscious with belief, and move forward with relentless persistence. Each step will lead to another. Each small victory will build momentum. And one day, perhaps sooner than you think, you will look back and realize that the person who once struggled to survive has become the person who was destined to thrive. Remember these words, 1 hour can change everything if you let it. 1 hour of truth can save you 10 years of trial. 1 hour of clarity can erase a decade of confusion. 1 hour of decision can rewrite the story of your entire life. This is that hour. This is your turning point. This is the moment where the future stops being something that might happen and becomes something you will create. So rise now, not tomorrow, not someday now. Step into the life you were born to live. Claim the strength that is already within you and march forward with unwavering faith, unbreakable persistence, and unstoppable purpose. Because the life you dream of is not waiting for someone else. It is waiting for you. And it begins right here, right now, with a single decision that you will no longer wait for the future to change you, because you will change the future.